Morning coffee talk. So sometimes you're in the prime of your life, you found what you need to be happy. Things are going really well, and then something happens that catches you completely off guard, and you're kind of left stuck in your tracks, right? I haven't posted in a few days because that's what's going on right now. So in the past few days, I'm like, what positive thing could I possibly say to help somebody out right now when I'm struggling right now? So with this one thing, so I was like, okay, well, this is the perfect time to reach out because the past couple of days have been extremely hard. So I'm like, okay, what have I been doing to get through it? Because this is when people need help the most, right? So I think that our minds can be our most positive or negative asset in these times. I think the key is you just know that the only way to get through it is to get through it. There's no way around what's going on. So, I mean, basically it just takes time. That's the hardest piece, is just trusting in the process and knowing that it's going to take time to get through whatever it is that's bogging you down. So you can use your mind one of two ways, right? You can get in your own head and think about the worst case scenarios, and you can think about everything bad that's going on, and you could just drive yourself crazy. Or you could use your mind and say, okay, what's positive about this situation? What can the positive outcomes be? What am I going to learn from this? What do I have in my life right now that's great? What are some things that make me happy? So that's one thing you could do, is try to take yourself outside of your negative mindset and only think about the positive things. Another thing you could do is just focus on the things that do make you happy. Like, I like going for walks, I like gardening, I like using the elliptical, I like doing stuff with my kids, like swimming, or cooking in the kitchen with them, or I don't know, setting up like villages with all their toys and stuff. So I think the key to get through a hard time is distraction. Just try to fill all your idle time with activities that you love. Probably one of the worst things you could do is do nothing, because then you're left to sit with your thoughts, and eventually they can spiral into negativity again. So it's like you just have to distract yourself until you get through this hard time. And I think another key is reaching out. Like, I'm the kind of person where I have to talk about something and talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. That's just how I process it. So I am constantly reaching out to other people via Facebook, via texting, calling. When I go through a hard time, I am like heavily relying on everyone else around me to help carry me through whatever it is that's making things hard. So I know a lot of people tend to isolate, which is, I wouldn't recommend that. And scary as it is, and as needy as you feel, like pick up the phone and call somebody. If people didn't want that role in your life, if they don't want to be part of your support circle, then they won't make themselves available. But if they do, that means that they care for you and they're willing to listen. So use that resource. There's so many times that I'll think to myself like, oh, so-and-so knows what's going on. Why haven't I heard from them? But the truth is, people are just busy. They're just busy with their day-to-day lives, or a lot of people don't know what to say or what to do. So it's up to you. It's up to you to reach out. As hard as that is, it's up to you to reach out and find support groups that work for you. There's all kinds of support groups. There's support groups for, friends and family of alcoholics, Al-Anon. There's support groups for overspending. There's support groups for eating. There's support groups for everything. Trauma survivors. There's I guarantee if you look it up, there's a support group out there for you. So, or your church. If you have a church that you like to go to, utilize that to help you. I mean, there's so many sources out there of people who are willing to listen and willing to help, and people who want to be supportive of other people. So your job is to find those people and make yourself a network, so that way when you do go through something rough, you're surrounding yourself by people who want to help you get through it and people who understand. And it's amazing when you find other people who have had similar experiences, because they're going to help you find the tools that you need. And don't forget about yourself. Don't forget about what makes you happy, because you are important. And when you find what makes you happy, don't let it go. It might be hard at the time, and sometimes I'm going minute by minute. Some days I feel totally fine. Other days, it's really hard. So there's a saying, one day at a time, but sometimes it's 1 minute at a time. Sometimes it's 1 hour at a time. You just have to get through it. And ultimately believe that whatever is happening, you're going to come out stronger and better on the other side.